But tonight, you're going to get to hear from each of the four seniors about what they've spent the year doing for their senior projects. We challenge each senior to take something that they are passionate about, excited about, and take it to the next level in their life. You're going to hear from the four seniors in reverse order of how long they've been at the school. So we'll start with Clare Stemmer.
I am Claire, and this is a video of my senior project. Thank you.
My love for art is a long-standing and ever-growing passion. I was in kindergarten when my mom took me to an Impressionist exhibit at the Seattle Art Museum. Now I'm part of their teen advisory group. When I was 13, my art history education really took off. I went to Europe for the first time. As part of our preparation, I started watching Rick Steves and reading books about where we would visit. One of my jobs was to pick out 2 must-see things for each place. For London, I chose the aquarium and Botticelli's Venus and Mars. Venice gave me Primavera and the Birth of Venus. In Rome, I used my binoculars to study the ceiling Michelangelo painted, all 5,000 square feet of it. In Florence, my life changed. So far on our trip, when asked what I thought of anything, I would reply, "It was okay," meaning it was good. When I walked out of the academia, I told my mother, "That was fantastic." I had seen David. I knew I wanted to do my senior project on Renaissance art, but how? It was in London this past summer that I got my idea. I was lucky enough to see a once-in-a-lifetime exhibit, Fra Angelico to Leonardo, Italian Renaissance drawings from the Uffizi and the British Museum. I realized I could use drawings to study Renaissance artists. I decided to immerse myself in the study of Italian Renaissance drawings and to eventually choose 3 artists and then choose 1 drawing by each artist. I would then make a master copy of that drawing. A master copy is when, for the purpose of study, you copy someone else's work. In my case, I would not necessarily be looking to develop technical skills, but rather be trying to learn about each artist's techniques. This past fall, I took a class at the Gage Academy on the 4 drawing techniques used during the Renaissance. I was surprised to discover that graphite was not in use yet, so I would not be working in pencil. I would need to learn how to use silver point, ink, or chalk. I learned I was able to access hundreds of drawings online. The British Museum allows students to download for free up to 100 images a month. By Christmas break, I had chosen my 3 artists, the 3 giants of the Renaissance, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael. All 3 drawings were chalk. Leonardo with a brilliant mind, unquenchable curiosity, and amazing technical skill. He learned from observing nature and experimented in his artistic endeavors. He used chalk for drawing and oil for painting before others followed suit. He invented sfumato, a method of blending color in soft stages, so the transition from one to another is almost imperceptible. His paintings leave something that the observer must fill in, and his notebooks left us hundreds of pages of drawings. The drawing I chose is An Old and a Young Man in Profile, one of the works from the Uffizi I saw this summer in London. The young man is believed to be Giovanni Giacomo, better known as Sale, which translates as imp or little devil. Sale was an apprentice whom Leonardo loved. The old man might be a cartoon of Leonardo himself. He was in his 40s when this was drawn. Leonardo liked contrast and believed beauty and ugliness seem more effective through one another. The contrast is one of the reasons I was attracted to this work. The other was the attention to detail. This detail proved to be very challenging for me to copy. The great contemporary biographer of Renaissance artists, Vasari, wrote this about Sale. In Milan, Leonardo took for his servant, Sale, who was extraordinarily graceful and attractive. He had beautiful hair, curled and ringleted, in which Leonardo delighted. I think you can see this delight in the care taken to draw each curl. The second artist I chose was Raphael. The son of a painter, he was an amazing draftsman at an early age. This is a self-portrait he did in silver point while still a teenager. Silver point is like etching, and there is no room for error. It takes a sure hand. 31 years younger than Leonardo, Raphael was a great assimilator who learned from both of the old masters. This is a drawing he did of Michelangelo's David, which demonstrates his ability with foreshortening and perspective. Because of the height of the pedestal the 16-foot statue rested on, Raphael would not have been able to see David from this position. He had to refigure it in his drawing. While Michelangelo was painting the Pope's ceiling, Raphael, only 24, was painting his walls. Raphael painted amazing portraits. Many of his paintings have an idyllic serenity. In contrast, his drawings reveal energy, which is why I chose Nude Man Sitting on a Stone. This is a figure study for a drawing of the resurrection of Christ. The figure is that of a soldier falling back in shock as Christ comes out of the tomb. This was the easiest drawing of the three for me to copy. Raphael's lines are so clear. The third artist was Michelangelo, sculptor, painter, architect, engineer. His true subject was the male nude. Leonardo and Raphael painted all of creation. Michelangelo put all of creation in the human figure. Around the age of 68, he apparently went through a crisis of faith. After this, for the next 20 years of his life, his subject matter was the Passion of Christ. The drawing I chose is one of his last, study of Christ on the cross with the Virgin and St. John. I was pulled by the pathos of the quiet figures embracing the crucified Christ. This was by far the hardest drawing I attempted. The repeated recontouring of the lines, which makes the drawing so powerful, also makes it extremely difficult to copy. Michelangelo's mastery is evident the more you study this work. Only a master could accomplish what is on the paper. I could have copied this a dozen times and not come close to capturing what is there. During this project, I have learned that drawing takes time. Each drawing took over 50 hours. Drawing also takes the willingness to start over. I had to redo many things in each of my drawings. In my reading for this project, I have gathered biographical information about each artist, but it's by studying their drawings, I feel I've gotten closer to understanding them, and it has left me even more awed by their work.